on, everybody? Today we are going to Rush Off-Road Park in Rush, Kentucky. So we're gonna load the trucks up, load the RZRs up, and see y'all there. Alright, got the first truck loaded up. Got some drinks in the cooler, some mud boots. I think it's gonna be a little muddy down there. Got a spare tire just in case, brought me a grill, and of course gotta bring the dogs along. So let's go load the RZRs up. Alright, got the RZRs loading up and they're tightened down. I think we're ready to ride. So, my truck was running a little rough the other day. Had a backfire and a misfire, so we changed the coil pack on it and changed the spark plug, and it seems to be running better now, so let's hope we can make this 2.5 to 3 hour drive trip without any problems. Alright, pulling into Brian's house. Go up here and grab them real quick. So obviously this is my first video, so don't really know what I'm doing yet, but hey, I'll learn, and these videos should get better, but for now, just hang tight, enjoy the ride. But we're here to get Brian, so we'll see him in a minute. What the heck is he doing? Gotta walk it back.
Damn.
Slower in the back. See if I can see him on the camera. I can't even see him. Got the dog's little place back here. His dog's out there crying. What the heck? Where'd he go? Oh, I can barely see him in the mirror.
Stop, Bobby.
Load his stuff up real quick. He's gonna be driving the other truck, so with all the RZRs on it, so I didn't trust myself driving him, so he's gonna drive it. So the man himself.
Quit that.
We're vlogging this trippy.
Where's the dogs?
Gotta go get them.
Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Alright, we're on the road now. Got the puppies, and the boys are behind us in the truck and trailer. So, we've got a 2.5 hour drive. See you there. Stop at this place to grab their food. It's pretty good. Try it out. Well, we pulled off to eat, and the truck carrying both of the RZRs has broke down. So now we are sitting here waiting on a tow truck, and yeah, we don't know what the next step is. Hopefully we can still go. And Bean is real upset about it. Alright, we have made it to our cabin. Now we're gonna unload our stuff, and then we're gonna go hop on the trails. Alright, got a little grill here. A little swing, little outdoor table set, and then our fire pit. It's got a little mini golf thing over there, I think for kids. It's a little campsite with all these cabins, and then there's like a little dog park little thing over there. We're gonna let the dogs run in here in a little bit. Let's go check out the inside. Did you make it, Kiki?
Charlie's got her camera out.
Did you make it? Did you make it? Yeah. Nico?
I can't even hear it.
Mom and Dad's bed. Dad's got the
Person flipping out.
basketball on, a little TV.
Wow.
Me and Brian's beds, all the dogs' toys and stuff. And then our shower. our little bathroom.
Flipping out and jumping down.
But finally made it. We're waiting on Brian. He's getting the truck fixed right now. And then once he gets here, we're gonna go hit the trails.
They're attacking each other.
Hi, Nick. All right, Brian finally got the truck fixed, and he's back now with our razors. We're about to head out, go on to the park.
So just got our pass. We are in Rush, Kentucky. Had to sign our waivers, and you see a nice clean razor. Brian's not so much, but yeah, it'll be dirty and dusty.
We're gonna go unload and show y'all when we get to the trails. All right, just gonna go pee real quick, then we're gonna hit the road. Got our cooler in the back. Some stuff just in case we break down. This place is pretty cool. 7,000 acres we can ride on. Here's the trail, the maps and stuff. Let's go take a look at it. Since I've never been here, we're gonna do the easy trail. So all the blue, so we're right here, so all this is easy right here around us. The black is the hard. So we're definitely not gonna do the black. Just because I ain't got nothing extra on the razor besides the cage. But I ain't got no arms or nothing extra, so we're just gonna do easy today. And then, so there's some ponds we can go through.
through our. We just came up around it.
Awesome.
Only part that we probably couldn't get up.
Okay, so we have finally made it back home. I got the razor unloaded finally. And it's raining now. I need to wash it off, but the rain looks like it's doing a little bit of a job for me. So as you can see, the truck's over there. We finally got it unloaded and everything pretty much back to where it's supposed to be. Gotta wash the cooler off too when I wash the razor off because it's a mess, just like the razor. But yeah. Alright, so I didn't get to record the morning that we left or on the way home or anything. It was a pretty stressful trip. I mean, even before we left, it was real stressful. My truck started acting up. It had a misfire the day before we left, and so I was already, you know, freaking out about that. I hooked the OBD up to it, and cylinder 2 was misfiring. I replaced the ignition coils and a spark plug, and the spark plug looked pretty burnt out, so we put it back together, and while I was in there I noticed that there was some oil in there, like a lot of oil. And I was like, oh man. So I got to looking around. I didn't see any like obvious leaks anywhere, so I didn't really know what it was. It looked to be too much to be like overfilled from the last time I had it serviced, so I knew it wasn't that. So I kept the engine cover off of it, and we went ahead and went down there, and like I said, we broke down probably 2 hours in, I'd say. We had stopped to eat, and thank God I had stopped when we did, because Brian was following us with both the razors, and I was like, okay, like, I was wanting to stop at Cookout. I'd never tried Cookout before, and I'd heard it was pretty good, so I got off the exit with Cookout. Then I found out that Cookout was 3 miles off the exit, and I was like, I don't want to drive that far out of the way. I just want to eat real quick and get there. We had 3 dogs with us, 2 razors, and we were all ready to get there. And like before we even left, we had somebody hit our gates, so they tore up, and now we had to fix them. So it was already a little stressful. So like I said, once we got to the restaurant, it was that chicken place, we all ordered. It was pretty good. Kind of tastes like Cane's. We went out and ate, and then jumped in the truck, and the boys had parked back a little bit because they had the trailer and stuff. So I called them and I was like, all right, you all ready to go? And he's like, no. I was like, okay, why? He's like, we're broke down. I was like, oh, cool. So I guess they went to start it and nothing. And so we drove over there to them, and Brian crawled underneath the truck, and he said the starter was like just, it was cooked, and I guess it was missing bolts and stuff too. And he's like, you know, it's good that we stopped when we did, because if not, we would have been stranded on the middle of the interstate, and it wouldn't have been good. So we were out of the way, which was great. There was a bunch of restaurants and stores around us, so thank God we broke down when we did. So we were all really stressed before that, and then it broke down, and we were like, oh my gosh. We debated even turning around because we were all just, you know. So we all got on the internet, started looking for diesel mechanics around us. We ended up finding one that was like 5 miles away. Called them. We thought they were going to bring a tow truck and just tow it to the shop. And we're like, okay, we'll just pick it up tomorrow. It's just a starter, but for a starter for a diesel is like $500. So like, we're all, you know, this is going to be pretty expensive, but you know, at least they can get it fixed. We'll get back tomorrow. I was planning on running him back up there after I dropped everybody off the cabin, dropped everything off. So but they ended up coming out and just fixing it where it was at. It needed some extra bolts. They had to run back, but after like 2 hours they ended up getting it fixed. And once the mechanic got there, Brian told us to all just jump in my truck and go to the cabin to drop the dogs off. And you know, he's like, there's no sense of everybody staying here if they're fixing it here. I was like, okay. So we all went to the cabin, and like I said, Brian stayed back with the mechanics. Took him about an hour and a half, 2 hours. They finally got him fixed up. He was ready to go. And then we got settled in at the cabin, and he called us and said he's on his way. So we're like, awesome. So once he got back to the cabin, we loaded the razors and stuff up. We're like, all right, let's go. And we got there, started unloading the razors, and Brian was like, my axle looks bent. Like, oh man. So he already knew he needed like a new clutch and stuff, and I think he knew he needed a new axle, but it wasn't as bad as what he like, it was worse than what he thought it was once we got there. So it was still able to ride. We rode the rest of that night. I think we got about 4 hours in. Well, it was all good. It was great. And then Brian wanted to go down this like cliff, and I was like, you know, I don't want to tear my razor up. I'm just gonna stay back. It's like, you know, I'll meet you back up here or whatever, or we'll just do whatever. So he went down it, and I guess he got like halfway down it, and I guess he ended up backing up. Well, I was waiting on him till like I was gonna meet him at the bottom or something. I never did see him, so I was like, okay, like I guess we'll just ride around, whatever, we'll meet back up. So we rode around for a few hours. By this time it started getting dark, and we're like, okay, we need to like start heading back towards the parking lot. This place is 7,000 acres, so I had no clue where we were. I looked at my GPS, we were 2 hours away from the parking lot. So I was like, oh my gosh. And I didn't have the GPS to these trails. Come to find out, there's an app you have to download in the shack when you come in. So if any of y'all go to Rush Off-Road Park, make sure you get the app, because I had no clue where I was at. I was 2 hours away in these trails, and I was lost. It was dark, there was nobody near me. I could hear people, but I couldn't see them. So we couldn't find Brian, so I was like, okay, like let me try to call Brian real quick. So I tried to call Brian. I had no service at all, and so, you know, I was like, whatever. I was like, let's go up this hill. We went up this hill, and like I said, we couldn't see as much because it was dark. Started going up this hill, and I got out of one of the ruts, and I was like hanging off the side of this mountain, and I was like, oh no. So I told Mom to get out slowly, because I was like, we were literally teeter-tottering on the side of this mountain, and I was like, get out slowly, like I don't want you to like flip if this flips or whatever, I'll stay in here. So she got out, and I said, all right, like I'm gonna take the winch out. I want you to tie it around the nearest tree. So I started getting the winch out. She tied it around the tree, cool. And I was like, all right, like I'm gonna winch myself up. I'm gonna stay in here and just stay out of the way just in case I do flip and it takes the tree with me or breaks the winch or whatever. She's like, all right, cool. She gets out of the way. I start clicking the button, and it won't retract in. I was like, that is great. Like I am on the side of this mountain. I do have the winch on the tree, so I should, you know, unless it snaps, I should be okay. But I was like, oh my god, like this is, it can't get no worse. Well, I just crawl out of the razor and I leave it hooked up to the tree there. I get up to the top of the mountain, and finally I get stuff in service after I climbed up that mountain. I end up getting a hold of Brian. I was like, hey, like I need your help. Like we're on the side of this mountain. Well, he was with his buddies, thank God, and they all came and got us out of that rut and off the mountain. Thank God. Shout out to them. So after that, we're like, all right, like we're ready to go back to the parking lot. It was like 11 o'clock this time. We had steaks at the house waiting on us. So, and I was like, I'm hungry. I haven't ate all day. Besides earlier before we broke down, and it was like early in the, like 11 probably. I don't know. It was pretty early, so I'd went a little bit without eating, and then all of us had. So we were all pretty hungry and tired, and the stressful day we had, we were just like ready to go back. So we ended up driving back. One of his buddies had GPS, so that was cool. Got back, loaded the razors up. We just kept them there with his buddies, and then drove my truck back to the cabin. We got back to the cabin, ate our dinner. It was great. Ended up going to bed. Got up the next morning, and I was like, you know, I'm not feeling it. I think I'm just gonna go back. I don't want nothing happening. Like we'd already had a stressful trip. I was just ready to get home. So I started cooking breakfast. I think we got up around 7. Made some coffee for everybody. When I went to cook breakfast, this cabin has no like way to cook anything inside the cabin, I guess because they don't want nobody burning it down. It is a real small cabin. It was a great cabin, but it was just really small. So they had a grill outside, and that's what we had made our dinner on last night. Well, we went to make breakfast, and we had no pans or nothing, and I was like, oh no, like I have hash browns, bacon, and eggs, and I cannot make any of this on a grill. So thank God I had brought an extra like grill with me that I just bought from Tractor Supply, and it was like a bowl looking grill. So I took the top of that off and I put it on the fire and started cooking, and it took forever. So I ended up just taking it off and literally, like, it was on this grating over this fire. I ended up taking it off and just putting it directly on the fire. The reason I didn't do that before is because I didn't want to burn the handles off, but I was like, you know what, screw it, like we're not gonna eat if not. So ended up getting breakfast done after like 2 hours. It took forever. And so we're like, all right, Mom and Dad were ready to go home. Brian was like, you know, I'm gonna stay and ride a little bit. I was like, okay, sweet. And he's like, hey, do you mind, like, if my axle or something snaps, can you just leave your key here with me and I can take your razor? I was like, yeah, that's fine, like, whatever. Well, I ended up going, dropping him off, and when I was dropping him off, he's like, all right, where's your key? Well, I had lost my key. It was dark that night, we were all stressed and stuff, like I said, hungry, tired. I ended up losing the key, couldn't find it. So he was like, it's all right, whatever, like, hopefully mine just doesn't break. Well, we get over there, and his is missing a lug nut on the back of the wheel. And he's like, whatever, like, I'll just drive it like that, it ain't gonna hurt it, whatever. I was like, okay. So he tightened up the rest of them. I left, and we headed home. Well, we got home, everything was cool, unpacked the truck, got everything out, unpacked it all, and I told Brian to keep me updated. Well, Brian called me at like 6 o'clock and was like, hey, so I thought my axle was gonna snap. My axle didn't snap, and come to find out, my steering just snapped. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I'm in the middle of the woods, I can't find my buddies, and my steering just went out. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Luckily, this trail, once you, like, it's two parts. Once you go to, like, go across one of these parts, you have to go across this main road. And he was close to that, thank God. Well, I guess he just ended up driving it down that hill to the road, taking the truck and loading it up there. But he ended up snapping steering, he was missing a lug nut, and like I said, one of his axles was already bent, so he was like, alright, I'm just gonna come home. So he got home at like midnight last night and unloaded the razors, and so that was that. Like I said, it was very stressful the whole time, so thank God, like, nobody got hurt or nothing, you know. The razors and stuff are replaceable, but you know, my truck is halfway fixed, it's still leaking oil. Brian looked at it and thinks it's just like some kind of valve cover or something, so hopefully that's all it is, nothing big. I get it fixed. It's a small leak, he said, so that's good. Like I said, all this is replaceable as long as, like, nobody got hurt or killed or nothing. That's all that matters. So, but it was a good trip besides that, but we had fun. But if you have a side-by-side, I highly recommend checking out Rush Off-Road. And we stayed at KOA Campground. They were great. The host was on VRBO is where I found it. They were like really quick at replying and really lenient. They ended up letting us check in early to our cabin, even though we didn't need it, because I thought we were checking in earlier than when we got there. We weren't expecting to break down, but yeah, if you ever come to Kentucky, or if you are in the area, I highly recommend checking it out. It was great. But that's all for now. I'll see y'all at the next video. See ya.